first day in pads, exciting. Happy to be out there and you see a lot of good energy from the players.
Yeah, it was. It's very refreshing. You know, I got asked coming off the field by Chris Jones, one of our team leaders, and he said, "How you feel, coach?" Or maybe I said, "What do you think?" or "How you feel?" But I could tell he was talking about, "Hey, after practice 6, what do you think of us?" Mm-hmm. Right? And I said, "Weird." Like it's just, and I rephrased that to mean more of what I meant. Just I'm cautiously happy. This is kind of how I left it. You know, I'm really happy with where we're at. I'm happy for the most part with the way that the guys are conducting themselves and attack practice every day. And you know, we've been throwing some curveballs here pretty early. You know, having to dance around the weather Sunday and Monday. You know, was interesting, and our guys responded. You know, we're not going to let anything that inhibits our way of training get in our way or make an excuse out of it. You know, we're going to find every way to get our work in. This team is I'm happy but on edge. How's that? Very happy with where we're at.
We often speak poorly when we're talking about the portal. But one of the things is it can bring in leadership and it can bring in the culture of, not to use culture over, but of a player-led team. Have you seen that with this team?
Oh, so yeah. And I don't want to discredit some of our guys that were here that have bled for the. I mean, Federico Marengas is maybe one of the top 2 or 3 leaders I've ever coached, and he's been here a long time. But the question was in specific about the transfers. Yeah, I mean, C.J. Campbell, I'd be shocked if he's not a captain. You know, Jackson Ambush was a transfer, albeit a 2-year transfer. Milan Tucker is on our leadership council. You look at our leadership council, there's of the 11 positions that are represented, I'd say 5 of them are by transfers, you know, and so we do have some leadership, and I think some of that comes with experience. You know, those guys have played football, and they got pelts on the wall. They've got a resume, so to speak, and I think you don't get, you know, a lot of those guys have played meaningful snaps where they were at prior, and you don't get to do that, half-assed in practice, you know, and so it's great to see these transfers that our guys know are good players that have proven themselves on Saturdays in college football, and then they watch how they work, and Coach Herman wasn't messing around last year. He was telling the truth. Like, in order to play like this guy plays, and then I got to work like this guy works. So it's been great from a lot of fronts. Obviously, the upgrading of talent, but certainly from a leadership and culture standpoint too, we've upgraded that.
One more question from me, and then I'll turn it over to these guys. For the first time, you're going to have your coordinators be able to talk quarterback on the field. How does that change during a game when you get to that mark of, okay, now the headsets are off and they got to go, or do you shift your defenses?
Having spent a year in the NFL, where this has been commonplace for 30 years or whatever the case may be. I don't. It's only going to be positive. You know, the 15-second thing means we get 25 more seconds than we ever had. You know, and so you can already tell using it in practice. You know, Coach Fry talks to the quarterback real quickly. You know, gives them some bullets. Maybe it's about the previous play. Maybe it's the play coming up. Maybe it's the tempo that we're in. Maybe it's, hey, your right guard just whiffed. Go pat him on the butt. We need him next play. You know, real quick coaching points. I don't know if I'll ever be a quarterback coach again, but it would be a dream come true to be able to have one of those and be able to talk to your guys for 25 seconds. So there is a little bit getting used to it, but we're never going to stop teaching our guys, our quarterbacks, how to get us out of bad plays and into good plays. And I would imagine, you know, defenses, if the clock runs under 15, they're probably going to have some. so forth. So you still as if he doesn't is not going to have that, but when you do have it, it is it's an awesome piece of coaching equipment.
And I would imagine Fi's experience in the NFL.
Yeah,
make that
I mean he did that for a whole season with Tua, so he's pretty. I mean it's like what are they, duck to water or water off a duck's back or however that I don't know.
Duck to water.
Yeah, duck to water. Yeah, something.
Liam Bessiker.
Say it again.
Liam Bessiker. What do you thoughts on him?
Tight end from Temple. I just got to you.
He made a really nice catch today. That's the only reason we were asking.
Yeah, I've known him for 7 days, so
Okay.
I don't know. Well, jury's out. How's that?
Can we share why he was brought in?
I believe
Yep.
he's what do they call it now? A walk on, but
Oh, is he PWO?
Yeah, he's in grad school here.
yeah, he came to grad school.
So he's a
wanted-
walk-on. He's not.
Yeah, wanted to
Okay.
get his graduate degree at FAU and had some eligibility left. Contacted us, I believe, and we said, yeah,
He was
All right.
already enrolled in school.
right.
Nothing to add. Nothing to add on him right
No,
now.
sir.
Okay,
No,
got it.
no,
okay.
we didn't recruit him. Yeah.
Okay.
Coach, staying on the topic of tight ends, how do you see the tight end group contributing to the overall success of the team?
Well, I hope, one thing I haven't done is give an injury update. I probably can do that tomorrow because I don't have it with me. But off the top of my head, Khalil Brantley's been dealing with some internal medical stuff that we're trying to get figured out. So he has not practiced. Long story short, the tight ends, they had a great spring, even better summer. And I know we're not playing a whole lot of football, but they made unbelievable strides in so many different areas. And when Khalil was healthy and going, I think Coach Fry and myself, we felt like we had 4 capable tight ends in Zeke, Wyatt, EB, and Khalil that we could, maybe play 10, 15, 20% of the game in 12 personnel. And with Khalil going down, that's slowed that progression just a little bit. Instead of 4, we got 3. And but when you do play with 2 tight ends in the same grouping over and over and over again, those guys get worn out. So hopefully we'll get Khalil back in some form next week. And you asked about the position as a whole. I'm super excited. We went from, this is no knock on Zeke, but basically having to play a true freshman because he was our he was the prettiest girl at 2 a.m. At that point. I was trying not to offend anybody in all my different expressions I had rolling through my head there. I apologize. But so we had to play him, and he proved that he can, we can play winning offense with him. But to see those other 3 guys and their development over the past year has really made that room, in my opinion, a strength of the offense. Going from having to play a true freshman to now having 4 guys that you think you can win with. I mean, that's a pretty major shift.
Coach, like you said, you have 4 guys that are capable of being tight end 1. Obviously, they all have different play styles, whether one's a better physical threat, one's a better blocker. How have you and Coach Fry really been able to get the most out of everybody every day?
I think probably from his NFL days, Coach Fry is really good at personnelling. Hey, this tight end, if we're going to be in 11 personnel, this tight end is going to be on this play, this tight end is going to be on this play. Not to say that the others can't do it, but kind of identifying that best guy. And then in 12 personnel, you'll see us, EB, Elijah Brown, and Wyatt Sullivan would be more of your hand on the ground, line up next to the tackle. True inline tight end, I think, is the buzz phrase. And then Zeke and Khalil would be the more move H-back, if you will. So I think that's probably, you asked I think they all do certain things well, and in 12 personnel, that's by putting one's hand on the ground and one being the move guy. We've already kind of told them a little bit about what kind of jobs to expect doing that. And then when we are in 11 personnel, when only one of them plays, I think Coach Fry does a really good job of getting the right guy in on the right play.
And then running backs had a very good day today. We opened up 11 on 11 with a nice little 50-yarder from C.J. Campbell. Zoo had a nice day, and Xavier Terrell had nice days. How have you liked how our run game has really evolved since last season?
Well, there's quite a bit of dynamism now in the backfield. You know, Larry and Kobe, I mean, I think Kobe's still in an NFL camp right now. I mean, really good players, just much different. You know, they're bruisers, they're one-cut guys, if you will, where CJ and Zoo have a little bit more elusiveness, but still strong enough to get you 4th and 1 for sure, but maybe a little bit more juice in the open field. So it's been interesting to see too, because running backs, you know, they thrive. Certain running backs like certain runs better. You know, they feel it better, they know it better, whatever the case may be. And so to kind of see the evolution of the run game a little bit as it plays to these guys' strengths has been fun to watch too.
You spoke about Pro Owls with Kobe being in camp, but it came out yesterday that Jaquan Burton made Miami's first preseason roster. How does that make you feel as a coach, even though you only had him for a year, seeing one of your guys that you poured into make an NFL roster?
Yeah, it's great. Jaquan's got tremendous talent. I mean, there's a reason the Dolphins invited him to training camp, and you know they're not. I don't know that they'll have a guy with his measurables, you know, running around, and so I think, you know, if he gets an opportunity to prove to the people in that league what he can do, I think he'll turn some heads.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.